New Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam. And I was watching this guy, and he's just so amazing because it's based on a true story. There's so many things that they build into New Amsterdam that is not true. You know they embellish on everything. But this guy, he comes in, he wants to reform the hospital, and his whole purpose, everything that, especially in the first and second episode, he goes to each person and just says, "How can I help?" And for what we want to do, to be there and really truly help other people,
Hmm.
how can we help?
Yeah, it's going a step further than we started talking last week about. Hey, how are you?
Right.
And then the answer you humorously said back says, "Do you care?"
Yeah. Well, do
It's-
you really care?
It's become part of our culture
Right.
to just say, "Hey, how are you?" and to usually hear, "I'm fine," back. But when you say, "How can I help?" That's a real different twist.
It is a very different twist.
But I was captivated by that statement of, "How can I help?"
Yeah.
I think that it goes from saying, "Well, uh, let me know. There's the thing I can do." You hear that a
Right.
lot.
Oh, yes.
And people typically don't. To saying, "What can I do to help?"
And there is a difference there.
There's a difference. One seems to be basically, "How are you?" And the other one seems to be, "Tell me what to do because I want to make a difference for you here and now if I can. And if not,
Yes.
when can I make that difference?" It's just a phrase turned a little bit differently that wallops quite a punch.
And I think that's helpful, but I'm always impressed with something that Lisa does.
What's that?
And she really hones in on people when, something is going on, and they'll say, "Oh, well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help."
Means nothing.
It means absolutely nothing. So what she does that I'm always so impressed with is she will just step in and say, "I'm going to bring you a meal.
Hmm.
What night would work best?
Hmm.
Do you have any allergies?"
Nice.
And I'm sitting back and I'm just looking at her and thinking,
It's great.
"Oh my goodness, what's going on?" Because I have so many things going on during each and every day. I don't step into that anywhere near as well as she does. But I think that there's a lesson to be learned there. It's more than how can I help? It's knowing what the need is
Yeah.
and being willing to fill it.
I want to learn about people. I want to help them with their troubles.
I mean, think of the Daily Bread.
Yeah.
You work at the Daily Bread every single Sunday, and you're there from 8 to noon? 9 to
9
noon?
o'clock till sometimes almost 1.
Okay. So you're giving up 4 or 5 hours of your day, 6 hours if you're talking travel time, and sometimes meeting with people before or whatever it may be. So it's a half a day or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, it is.
And so you're not just sitting back and saying, "How can I help?" You're going straight head on towards it and saying, "I am going to help, and this is what I'm going to do."
Yeah, it's actually being involved in doing something. The difference between people who do something and those who don't, or those who do something.
Those who do and those who don't.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's the difference.
Yes.
So it's finding a way to find out what the need is, and then filling it.
So how can we help people have that type of mentality? Because I know a lot of people that I'll talk to, and I'll do it myself. I'm guilty of it. I'll sit back and think, "I just don't have time. I'm working on this project and this project. I have this at work, but I'm working on all these other things that are going on." But in all honesty, when you sit back and you think about what you do in your life, you do the things that you make time for.
Yeah, what's important.
What's important? What are you willing to make important?
And a lot of times what is important goes on your calendar. And so if we don't schedule in downtime, there won't be time to take care of these other things that are really important.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I want to do better. If I could get to the point of how Lisa does it,
Mm-hmm.
I just look at that part of what she does, and I really am blown away by that. Because I don't think that way. I'm happy to help people.
Sure. Well, you did with your neighbor's tree.
Right. I'm happy to step out and do what I need to do. That's a great thing
Yeah.
to talk about too. Is his tree.
Yeah. That night I was on my way over, and then I was getting ready to leave, and you said, yeah, come on over, but my tree just fell on my neighbor's fence, and I'm going to be cutting it up.
Right.
But then I get here, I pull up, and you're already back there. And then you said, it ain't even my tree.
Yeah, it
So-
wasn't even my tree.
So tell me about when he came over to your house.
Hear the doorbell ring, and I go down, and the front door is open so I can see him as I'm walking down the stairs. And I didn't know who the man was. I've never seen him before. He is a neighbor, but he's on a street behind me, so it's not
So
like
you didn't even know him?
No, I've never had any interaction. I've never seen him as many times as I've walked around the neighborhood. I've never seen this guy before. So his words to me were, "Your tree has fallen on my fence. What are you going to do to fix it?"
Really?
Yeah.
Gee, yeah.
And it was just very blatant, very bold.
What'd
I
you
was
say?
like- I told him, I said, "Well, are you sure it's my tree?" And I said, "Well, let me get my shoes and we'll walk back there and we'll see what we've got." Because I have no idea. I get my shoes and we're walking back through the woods. I have woods all around the house. And I notice he has this brace on. There's this brace that goes across his chest and down through here. He told me that he had broken his back.
He's telling you this on the way
He's
over
telling me this as we're walking over there. And it helped me to also understand this guy can't cut up a tree anyway.
No, his fear button was being pushed. He's
Right.
afraid that he's not going to be able to get this taken care of.
Yeah. He didn't know me, so he didn't know how I was going to react to the whole thing.
Right.
But I go down, I look at the tree, and I don't think it's on my property. But I told him, I said, "Well, let me take a look and see what needs to be done." And I come back in the house, and I look on the mapping for the county, and it's 10, 15 feet outside of my property line. So I know that it's not my
Right.
tree. But it is my neighbor's tree, who just lost her husband not that
Yes.
long ago.
Yeah, she did.
My other neighbor, as I was walking back through the woods, he said, "Hey, come on over here." He said, "What's going on?" And I told him the story of what was going on. And he was funny. He said, "Well, the tree's in his yard. Now it's his tree." So I honestly don't know how that all works, but it didn't matter to me whose tree it was.
immaterial.
He had problems with his back. My other neighbor has lost her husband. I'm in great health. The other guy said he was going to come over and help me.
Yeah. At some point, I got there.
Oh yeah, you
There-
did. You got there at that point. He had already
He was
gone.
cutting when I pulled up in the driveway,
Right.
and then by the time I got out
By
there,
the
he
time
was
you
gone.
got out there, he was gone because he was trying to figure out how to fix his chainsaw. And I'm over there just trying to figure out what I'm going to do because my chainsaw wasn't starting at the time. I have a really nice chainsaw, but it wasn't starting at the
Right.
time. Haven't started it in probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That wasn't working.
So we hauled
And then
a few branches, and you're
Yeah.
reciprocating, so we cut off as much as
yeah,
we could.
and you helped me get all of that cut up.
And out of his yard.
Point and out of his yard, and threw some stuff over the fence so that it was at least somewhat presentable at the time.
And he came out then and was very grateful.
He was.
His whole demeanor had changed.
Right.
He was no longer irascible.
Yeah, or just upset.
Yeah.
He just felt like he was in a position where he didn't know what he was going to do.
So in this situation, you didn't even have the opportunity to say, how can I help?
Oh, no, it was thrust upon me.
Yeah. But then you didn't officially say it, but essentially you did. You said, I'm going to take care of this.
Yes.
So it wasn't as if he came to you and said, look, oh my gosh, did you see that tree that's fallen on my fence?
Yes.
Which would have given you the opportunity to say, how can I help?
Yes, that would have given me a great opportunity, and I would have.
Sure you would have.
It would have been a great way to have handled that. But you know what's great about that? Looking at that whole situation and how that played out and how thankful he was.
He was. He was very
that
grateful.
we were there
Mm-hmm.
cleaning up a tree that he knew had nothing to do with us. It definitely wasn't your tree,
No.
and it wasn't my tree, but we were there doing something for him, even though it was placed on us in the wrong way. Because, this guy, he's over there. He didn't have to do anything with his tree. I haven't seen him since.
Mm-mm.
But I know he looks out there and he looks at his fence and he's probably very, very grateful every day thinking about that.
I think so. And I remember one of the things that, I don't remember how it was said, something about, it was nice to meet you. I'm sorry it happened this way or something. And you said, well, maybe at least it's the start of a relationship.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Because that's what it should be all about.
It is.
And it was wonderful. I mean, looking back on that, it makes me feel really good inside because I know that God brought
You
that.
did. Well, it's two things. One, you don't have to sit and wish you could unring the bell.
Oh,
You don't have
right,
any regrets about what
No.
you said or how you did it.
right.
I wish I would have not huffed and puffed. I wished I would have not fought with him and then gave in and cut up the tree. No, you didn't do any of that wrong, and you did a lot of it, all of it, super right. So
Right.
you don't have any regrets about it, and you invested and did the right thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
I'm so thankful for that.
well done.
How can we help?
Yeah.
If you have a story that you want to share, share the story with us. Let us know what has happened for you or that you have been able to do for someone else. Maybe the person that helped you doesn't
right.
even know.
That's a great idea.
And put it in the comments, shoot us a video, send us a message,
That's a great
and maybe
idea.
we can talk about it and dig deeper into it and share your story. And it can be something that can benefit others.
That's a great idea.
Thank you for sharing in another episode of Tabletop Coffee. In this episode, we tried to look at things a little bit different and asking people, how can I help? If you reach out and do something for somebody immediately in the moment, that tends to make a big impact. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and also click that bell for upcoming episodes. Click that like and share the video with others so we can grow this channel. If you have any comments, be sure to leave those below. Until next time.